Hey, what's up Reefers? Today I want to tell you about the Reef Jar that I'm putting together for Rico's Nano Tank Challenge 2018. But first, after the last video of me fragging my frog spawn, a lot of you guys asked me where do I sell my corals, and in fact where do I buy my corals. So today, really quickly, I want to share with you the 4 places that I buy and sell my corals at. First, it's your good old local fish store. Price there may not be the lowest due to the overhead cost, and what you find there will really depends on the week, but they always have something in stock, and nothing beats seeing a coral in person before buying, as well as the personal relationship you will build with the shop. The second place I would buy corals from would be an online store. A huge selection of corals is usually available at great price, although shipping is a necessary evil, and we are really relying on the honest photos to get a sense of what the corals look like. But this is probably the best way to hunt down that specific coral that you are looking for. The third place I usually buy my corals from is actually from local reefers and reef club meets. This is when you will find the best deal. Imagine $30 bounce mushroom or $20 other chaos mini colony. This is also how I prefer to sell my frags. I will post whatever I have for sale on my local reef club's forum and do transactions in person. Because I'm not paying for any overhead like a fish store or shipping as an online store, I am able to keep the cost low. An example would be the 6-head frog spawn frag that I sold for $30. But as great as buying locally and selling, these only happen occasionally, so this is not a business. So it is not readily available like at a local fish store or an online store. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we can combine all the benefits from all 3 methods and combine them into one? So there's a new app out called Coral Reef Market, whom happened to be today's video sponsor. Before I go on, I pick my video sponsor really carefully because all I have is my trust from you guys as well as my authenticity. So I would not promote anything that I do not believe myself. Now with that said, I have been watching Coral Reef Market for quite a while, especially since I am interested in the startup world as well, and I see that they grind, they try hard, and they are doing good work, and that's why I agreed to promote them and show you guys what they do. I have been following the app's progress since they launched a few months ago, and I see a steady increase in number of users and items listed. While the app is still US only, hey, sorry guys, I've already seen some very interesting items being listed. I am also listing some of my frags on Coral Reef Market, so be sure to follow me at Inappropriate Reefer on there. As a fellow startup guy and app designer, I know how difficult it is to get a new app off the ground. It would be awesome if you would check it out and offer some constructive feedbacks. I know they would seriously appreciate it. Alright, now that you know where I buy and sell my corals, I would like to show you how the Reef Jar is going. Hey, what's up Reefers? Today we're gonna move... Stop laughing!
What's up Reefers? Reefers! Is that Spider-Man?
Spider-Man! Hey, what's up Reefers? Exciting day today for the Voss Reef. So as you can see, we have a lot of random stuff laying around. I pick out a heater, I pick out a air pump, I got some hose that's gonna modify the lid so it's not glass on glass. However, the thing I'm most excited about is actually this rock right here. So if you've been following this channel, you know that I've been curing a small patch of Pukani rocks, and they're coming out of cure. I think they should be good to go. And I dry this guy so that I can kind of break this apart, because let me show you guys. This whole thing obviously would not fit. Let me show you the entrance. Entrance quite small.
That's what she said!
In terms of tools I use to break these Pukani rocks, Fiscus.
Ah!
This is the, I believe, 24 inches, awesome at splitting wood, awesome at splitting rock. Yeah, actually, I'm just kidding, man. Don't do this. Don't use this.
Inappropriate killer.
Yeah, this is strictly for logs. This is for camping. This, yeah, don't use that. Let's do it. The finest in Asian fashion. Hands in the sock. That's the next trend. All right, safety is number 1.
Wait, what about me?
You?
Okay. Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna break
That's
this
not
like this.
fair.
See the break? Honey rock's really soft. See, it's just one shot is stimulating.
Cool.
There you go, it's off. See it?
Yeah.
It's splitting. There you go.
Wow. Perfect.
That's a nice piece of rock right there. That's a good call. You see this?
That's my walk.
Alright, now we're gonna try to get a couple more pieces out of this.
Ooh, pretty good.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Rock on a stick.
Hey, what's up, Reefers?
Hey, what's up? Sorry guys, we're kind of loopy right now because I'm extremely tired. We just went snowboarding. Earlier, I showed you guys what we did with the Pukani rock for this reef jar. We busted up Pukani rock, we fit them in there, but we were waiting on Substrate. Tonight, around 8 or 9 o'clock, this box got delivered. As much as I want to go to sleep and just leave this in the living room, I couldn't make myself do it. If you look on the box, it's called Tropic Eden. And for those of you who are in the know, you know what this is already. This is the first time I'm gonna try this substrate. Usually I go with the Carib Sea Fiji Pink. No issue with them at all, but just reading the review for the Reef Flakes, right? People say that this is a lot cleaner, this is a lot whiter. It stays white, and then of course it does not get blown around in the water column like other sand. So I figured, okay, why not? Let's try it out. So today, I ordered way more than I need to because that's the smallest size they have at the store that I was shopping at. Here it is. I'm gonna save it for later, but I'm super excited to open it up. So let's get started.
Woo!
Oh my goodness, this is a big bag. What was I thinking? Reef Flake Mini of MiniFlakes. It actually does not say here. Tonga MiniFlakes right here. There you go. The crumbs around 2 millimeter. Let me flip to the back so you can get a good look at the grain size. Actually, these are pretty fine size. I feel like the size is pretty similar to the Carib Sea Fiji Pink. Now that I look at it, I like it. It's a lot whiter. I do see some pink spot as well, so I'm liking this. Now, all of these, it's gonna fit right in here. People say I don't actually need to rinse these because it's so clean. So I'll take their word for it.
Wow.
It's kind of
Time flies.
Yep. Hourglass. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. Here, I got it.
Okay.
So this sand is not going to be deep enough to be a deep sand bed. I think I'll go a little bit higher, so not enough. Because down here you can't really do too much in terms of aquascape anyways. Okay, I'm back.
It's too much.
Okay, I'm back with the bikini rocks that we cut up. I don't remember which is which.
I think this one is our favorite.
Is it?
That's the option 1.
Was it option 1? Or was it? So it was sitting like this, right? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, of course.
You're right.
Of course, women's is always right.
Maybe like this. Just like that. Nice and clean, actually.
Yeah, pretty good.
Alright, nice and clean. Not much room for anything else. I can grow a little bit of corals in here. It's really zen. It's really just like one piece, done deal. The only issue I see is that maybe if this gets moved around too much, a rock may sink into the sand. Hindsight, I probably should have put a piece of rock underneath it. Yesterday we also played with accent rocks. Let me just drop it in and see how they look. So it could be something like this. Alright. Alright, this is actually the first time I see this kind of scaped out.
Rotate it, please. Thank you.
Not bad. I mean, you can get the corals to actually grow up and take up more space. If you're just looking at rockwork itself, I would like to build up more. But if you're actually accounting for space for the corals to grow, I think this is actually good. And obviously on the side, we can do like magnetic mounts to grow corals on the side as well. Now the question is there too much sand? What do you think?
I think so.
Think so? What do you guys think? Leave a comment, let me know. Heater, it'll be the bit largest equipment in the tank. We can maybe tuck it sideways like this. Dude, I can't hide it, there's no way. And I guess the biggest issue is the heater, right?
that sucks. How do you hide this heater?
So that's where we stand right now with the Pico jar. We're dealing with aquascape. We got the rocks, we got the sand. Now we just got to put them together in a way that makes sense and can hide the heater well. A lot of you guys gave some really great suggestions. Some people suggested inline heater, which I probably not going for because of that means I have to use a canister filter, and the inflow and outflow are really thick compared to just like a wire and a airline hose. And some of you guys recommend using a reptile heating pad, which is a great idea. However, if you look at the boss or the jar, it's actually on a stand, so it's not going to be in direct contact with the majority of the tank. So I'm not sure how well the reptile heating pad is going to work. Otherwise, I think that's a fantastic idea. So for now, I'm gonna try to get this little heater to work, and I'll keep you guys posted. Alright guys, so the heater I got is really large, as I showed in the previous video. So the reason you see it in the guppy tank right now is because I actually stole the guppy tank's heater. So this is, the one in the guppy tank right now is the high door, I think it's like 25 watts, really highly recommended because you can control the temperature. It's one of the smallest heater that can control temperature. So first, I want to do this one. So let's come over here. This is a heater for a beta bowl that I initially first bought. So I thought I could try this in the jar, but a lot of you guys don't like it, saying that the temperature is not consistent. So I still want to try it because that heater is simply too long. But reading from the package, it does not actually say that this will heat up to like say 78 degrees. It just say that it'll heat up the bowl to 5 and 10 degrees more than the room temperature. So it's not a set temperature. So with that, this is out. And that is also the reason why you see the high door heater in that tank, because I stole the small Aqueon heater that it got in there. So this has been doing a really good job in the guppy tank, so I want to try to see if I can use this in the jar. This is a preset heater, meaning that it's going to heat up to roughly 78 degrees or 80 degrees, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to monitor it for a while. Over here, you see that I've started to put rock and sand into the little jar. I dump out some of the sand. And instead of placing the rock just on the surface of sand, I thought it may be smart to bury a piece of rock underneath it first. If you can look from here. So I kind of dug that in, make sure it doesn't sink anymore, and then I plan to place the rock on top. And it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to tweak it for a little bit before we call it good. But, oh, well, shit, it's good.
Wow.
It's good. And then I just want to put the heater in there, just to see how well we can hide this one. How well we can hide this one. So, space is of a premium. And I wonder if I can just tuck it kind of like this. Because I like either like this, or I'm going to lay flat down at the bottom. I have actually not seen this, so I'm going to come over here.
It's actually
that's
good.
That's not bad. That is not bad at all. And if I get some cord grow in front, that's it, it's gone. I think this may be the winner, folks. Yeah. I would like to get the rock a little bit closer to the sand, a little bit lower down, because we don't have much vertical room left for coral growth. It still feels really high.
Yeah.
But a base layer I can't push down anymore unless I move it back to the center. That's as slow as it goes. Maybe I can just kind of lean on it, not so much sitting on it, so that it can be on one side of the base, not the entire. So like this.
2,000 years later.
Alright guys, so with the rock and the substrate in place, also the heater, now we're dealing with the lid. We actually cut one version. It works good, but then it keeps coming out because if you look at the cut line, it's all over the place. So it kept twisting and popping out in one section, so I decided to redo it. But this time, with Emily's help, we kind of brainstormed on the best way to do it. At first, we thought maybe we can use a marker to draw a line, but then I was trying to draw it inside, right? However, after laying it out and just kind of look at it, I was like, wait a minute, the natural curvature is like this. So we want to put it like this, right? So why don't I just lay it down and just cut along the top? So that's what I'm trying to do right now. So not the cleanest job, it's kind of jumbled a little bit, but not as bad as before. We'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, floating. And this time, if Emily's suggestion, we're putting the blood text.
You just call me enemy.
Enemy. With enemies'
Wow.
suggestions, we're putting a black text at the bottom so it's completely hidden. Yeah, there's two sections on here that I just kind of fudged up, but hopefully that will not affect it too bad. But as I cut it, I kind of getting more of a feel. It becomes a little bit smoother and easier. And I laid the tube down naturally, so we're working with this natural curve, a tendency to curl in. So hopefully this one will be the one. So we're gonna open it up, slide it in a little bit. This one seems to be going in a lot easier.
Nice.
I don't have to fight it as much, but I know there's two spots that I kind of fudged up. Hopefully that won't be a deal breaker, because I feel like it came back in pretty quickly. Here's one of them. And we cut this a little bit longer than necessary, so we have more than enough. So far, okay, fitting good. This is nice. Okay. The air hose about this. I think I'll cut off this much, maybe. We'll probably need more later, but for now. Oh, this is pretty sweet. Let me tell you.
Well fit.
Well fit indeed. So we got a little buffer for the wire. Hop on here, there it is. Purpose of this is number one, keep the salt creep inside the tank. As the water comes up, if there's no lid like this, basically the lid kind of make the water go this way, which is tough. If there's no lid, it's gonna come straight out and kind of have salt condensate and stuck crab and salt water all over here. And we're gonna get salt creep. It's not gonna be nice. And number two, before this was glass on glass, right? Like this sounds really sketchy. But now we have a nice little rubber pad. It's really good. And tubing seems to almost look like part of the decor. So I'm really happy with it. I need to dig up whichever website I read this tip from and thank the guy. I think it's either Brandon or Maria. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this turns out. What do you guys think?
Yes.
What's up, Reefers? Mickey here. So with Emily's help, we were able to drill two really nice holes. There we go. Pilot hose going in. So this is a pilot hole. Oh, that's shit. That is shit. First one's a little bit obvious. If you want to kind of get a little closer look. The paper got ripped. The hole was perfectly round, except some of the paper got ripped as expected, which is fine. I have some touch-up paint that matches this wood color, so we'll go ahead and do that. If that really doesn't cover it up, I'll just do black tape. And back here, actually behind the jar, is the large hole that we drilled. But the good thing is that, obviously, the vase covered it. It's a perfect height with the sand. Some bellies. And I may go ahead and just touch these up as well, just so that's a little bit cleaner looking. I may seal the side so that it has like an electric tape or something, so it's a little more waterproof in case some water drips there, so it does not rot. But overall, I'm really happy with the progress. The light is a little bit forward. It's a little bit more to the front of the jar. It's not perfectly centered, which is planned because I want the corals to turn a little bit outwards towards the audience instead of going straight up. Come a little bit more outwards. And I think like for most part of the life of this jar, the top will probably be off, so that you see how the light just penetrates so much more without the top. Versus if I put the top back on, there's some shading. So I think like when people are over or when I'm filming something, I'll keep the top on. But when it's just me, top will be off so that it gets a maximum amount of light and gas exchange. And I'm really looking forward to this build. This is this is shaping up to be a lot nicer than I was expected. I thought it's gonna be kind of slapped together, things gonna break and stuff like that, but it's coming along really nicely. So I'm excited, I hope you guys are excited, and wait till I tell you what we're keeping in this tank. All right, now we're gonna have Emily give it a try.
Let's do it!